back. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Julia.
And here we go. We're talking about Bangor. So, where is this? Is this Maine? Bangor, Maine?
No, it's not Bangor, Maine. We're still in Northern Ireland, as you can see.
So we took a train.
And if yes.
No, go ahead.
No, from Derry.
What are you pointing at?
But I mean, if you can see how fast this train is going, even though it's just a city-to-city train, when you look at the fence posts, you can kind of see it's like blurry.
Yeah.
That's how fast this thing was going.
It was going quite fast.
It was just city to city.
So
anyway.
This is, we were in Derry. Mm-hmm. Here, let's help everybody out.
So there's Derry.
This is Derry. This is where we're heading. This large urban area.
Bangor is I'd say more of a suburb off of Belfast. I would
absolutely.
Say. Yeah.
Also, because this map's cool, you can also see Dublin, and over here is where Enniscrone is Sligo. Okay.
So anyway, yes.
Let's zoom in a little bit. So now you can see a little better. There's Derry again, right? And over here, this is the train. There's Belfast, and here's Bangor, way up there.
That's Bangor.
One more time. So
Greater Belfast.
Yep, and if you come way up there is
fun
Bangor.
Little suburb off of Bangor.
Okay, now I saw something interesting. What is this one, Julia?
Oh, so there is a small town called Whitehead.
Yeah. That
is much more than northern.
Right, so I mean,
Northern Ireland.
If we were looking out to the water and we saw buildings, the chances are we were looking at Whitehead.
So,
all right.
I don't know
I'm
if
having
there's
my fun.
I don't know about any family history there. Maybe. Who knows? I do know that Whitehead is English, and the only thing there is a giant golf course. So,
but then Enniscrone had a giant golf course on the water, so it feels like a thing.
Who knows? Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, this was the first restaurant we went to.
Yes, and this was right down the street from our hotel, which
and
was another
next to the station.
Another Premier. It was literally right next to the station. We walked up a hill for 2 minutes, and our hotel was there. You walk down the hill for 3 minutes, and you get to this lovely, lovely Filipino restaurant in the middle of quaint little Northern Ireland, Bangor.
Right next to the station. It was legit.
It was legit. Yeah, the food was actually really good. And at the time, we were talking to the shopkeeper there, and so they
spoilers.
No spoilers.
Okay.
And when we said, "Hey, we're from Hawaii," her eyes just kind of lit up, and she's like, "Oh, where lots of Filipinos are from."
Yeah, we know this food, man. We've had this stuff.
She of course did the "Oh, are you Filipino?" And I'm just
no.
No,
but we got friends.
No, but we got a lot of friends, and we love the food.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it even comes with a little Filipino flag.
Oh my gosh, so cute,
yeah.
So adorable. And so she was very excited that somebody from Hawaii, which is as close to the Philippines, besides the Philippines, that you could probably get.
Considering we're in Northern Ireland.
So
far away.
It was pretty exciting for her to also serve us at the same time because of the small, teeny, tiny little connection that we had. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so we're just kind of walking along. Remember, you saw that a lot of it's right on the water.
Yes.
So let's walk along the water, and
it's just very pretty. Apparently, this is the cheaper side of Northern Ireland as well.
Let's move. That's it. We're moving there.
Northeast side, cheaper than Belfast, which is why we decided to stay here instead of Greater Belfast.
There was all these cool things there. Nice little restaurants.
Mm-hmm. And look how quaint these little homes are. They're just awesome.
So I'm pretty sure you took this picture because you wanted to show people shamrocks.
Yeah, no 4-leaf clovers there, but the shamrocks were still kind of cute. And they were all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Just all over. And I'm just like, oh, I feel like I just jumped off of a cereal box. It's pretty great. But yes, more water and a beautiful pier. Oh,
is that soda bread?
That might be soda bread and some sort of chowder.
I don't remember the kind of soup that
it was a really
here.
cute little restaurant that we had gone to, and they basically had 10 things that you could order from.
Yeah, but everything was made fresh. Like, the soup was almost boiling hot.
Yeah, it's too hot. I had to sit there and wait for about 10 minutes before I could even start eating it. But everything was like, the food was all the vegetables were locally sourced. I think it was like a potato soup or something.
It was something like that. It was some type of thick soup.
Absolutely delicious.
Spot on.
Spot on. We always have to have the food. But oh yes.
So here's the thing. In Northern Ireland, they use the pound, right? Just like Scotland, just like Guernsey, but they print their own money. And so this is some of the money from Northern Ireland. It looks a little different.
A little different.
There's no royals on the money.
No.
It's weird.
They don't have any.
Okay, so right next to our hotel.
If you go up the hill, maybe another 2 minutes, so literally 4 to 5 minutes from the train station.
We're here.
Yeah.
Like, our hotel is where Julia said is. My hotel, my head is where this is. It's kind of a cross, but you kind of have to dip down and around because of the way streets work. And the station is just down the hill from both of these things. That's it. It's an easy walk.
Literal walk. It was kind of rainy that day. We decided to walk anyway, right up to this little museum that they had.
See, down there.
Yep.
Right here. Isn't that the station?
That's the station.
Yep.
Just to the right of that, you're going to have that Filipino restaurant, and to the right of that, you're going to have where the docks were, where we took pictures of like the ocean and everything like that. More of this quaint little museum that they had, cute little learning center.
We're going around the corner because the front is actually official office for the city, but the back gets you to an actual museum.
It's the north down museum. Is it this button that I pressed?
Yeah, you can do that button.
Obviously, we also have some first picture there. We have some ancient rocks because we always like to. We like our geology.
We do
in museums to kind of show that this is a very ancient place.
You don't want to push the button. I push the button.
Oh, I can push the button. Okay. So we had a docent who was very excited to even have patrons because it was the middle of the day that weren't small little children, because that's like the kind of the majority of their audience.
If you had a school that was in the area, this is, and they're by a lot of schools.
Yes.
We were surrounded by
schools, different schools.
So.
And so this is where a lot of the primary schools, as they say, they don't say elementary school, they say primary schools tend to go to these things.
Sure.
At least once.
But even
once
the
or
older
twice.
Kids can end up on trips here, but more academically.
Sure.
But we are not. We're not. From
so
Hawaii,
we're learning all this brand new Irish history that we had no idea about, and so everything kind of went over our heads. But yeah, let's keep going.
You can never tell how much you want to stay on one's life.
So this is actually Bangor's ancient village and its layout. So it's pretty cool. Like I don't think he was a curator. He said there's definitely a docent / curator type guy, because he said he put out the display. So that's more than a docent.
Yeah, but it's not like he designed the model.
No. But he said that we can actually pinpoint where in modern Bangor this area is. So I thought that was really cool. So I took pictures of that,
right.
Of course, and their saint, because I think every place has
roamed
one.
Around to spread the word.
So
I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, that guy is, but I believe that is a sarcophagus, and of an actual person was in that, and so that's why Daniel's trying to make himself try to fit. Anyway, smaller people in a different age.
So, there's a lot of displays like this.
Obviously, and of course...
This is the model of the building we're standing in.
So that's kind of cool. A little history of the
building itself. Wasn't it made out of something crazy like sugar cubes?
Yes, it's actually made out of sugar. So that's all made out of sugar.
Yes.
So that was kind of cool.
Isn't that sweet?
That's pretty sweet.
So obviously, different periods of time, and obviously war. Mm-hmm. So that's always wonderful.
So, and of course, really trying to get ancient, it's the Mesolithic era and Age of the Metal and everything like that. So
the building itself, you're winding in tiny rooms.
Yes.
These aren't wide open spaces.
No, it almost feels like it was a manor house that they changed into a museum, and every
1,000%.
house actually, every room kind of had its own old function.
An actual, and this was a restaurant that's in the courtyard,
but it was way too cold to eat.
Yep.
Out there, as you can see, nobody was patroning outside, and the inside was busy. They had a special
exhibit about a sea disaster that actually was fairly recent, only a few decades ago.
Yeah.
And so it told the history of this and how some of them were rescued. Unfortunately, not all of them. But they had a whole special exhibit about it. Another special exhibit was about the Northdown cinema that was
the cinema. Down. Yeah, so the movie cinema house had closed down, and this is them preserving the little piece of it.
What was the name of the cinema?
It was Adelphi Cinema.
Yeah.
Or I guess
not all K's are K's.
Not all K's are K's.
So
and of
that's
course,
me in my Adelphi University hat. I couldn't help myself, which I had just gotten earlier in this trip.
So
meanwhile, elsewhere.
So it was a cute little exhibit there.
Yep. Nod to our Panthers.
All the movie posters and stuff, old classic movies. And so it was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants to press
so these are one of the last slides of the area. They had a Vikings exhibit. It's one of those perpetual exhibits where it's like it's roaming, but it's been there for years, kind of a deal. So it'll probably stay there forever.
And it's pretty locked in.
And it tells a very interesting history about the Vikings that we do not learn in America.
Right.
And one of them is their big things is Vikings don't wear horns on their hats.
And we talked about that back in Manchester. If you remember.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why this is unique is that this lesson isn't geared towards the academics like us nerds, or an art museum. No, this is a kids. So this is all a dress-up area on the right.
Mm-hmm.
So
they start teaching.
Right?
No, that's the right, honey. Yeah, that's the left. They start teaching kids about Viking history fairly early.
Pretty accurate about it.
Yep.
There isn't a group of Vikings. I think we've talked about that before. So anyway, there's more to do. Let's talk.
Yes.
Okay, so without you.
Okay, so I did not go on this. I did not go on this walk.
I want to tell you about this thing I wasn't at.
No.
So I wandered the other direction, away from the water, and I just kept ending up in weird places. And one of those weird places was a walled garden. And it felt very Secret Garden-ish. Like, you just turned a corner, you're at a parking lot, and in the back of the parking lot, there's this wall. And so you go in, and surprise, it's a full garden. And it has a giant playground. Look how big that is. Now, I admit that it was not warm. This is March in Northern Ireland, and it is raining. It is actively raining. And
it was very cold.
I mean,
for how late it was in the year already, I was surprisingly still cold.
We are not adept to this level of cold in March. But moving right along, I found a mall on another trek out, without the Julie.
Without me.
And the mall had, it's a mall, so I mean, it's not that exciting. But it had some very funny things in that they would paint random people throughout the mall. And these are two of the ones I found. There were more. I know, because they tell you how many so the kids can search for them. I saw a sign that was like, there are this many little characters. And I'm like, but I found these two. And I thought they were adorable.
If I have one criticism for Bangor that was very different than the rest of even the smaller towns that we had come across, is that you have to basically walk.
It's a lot more car-ish.
They're a very, very car-dependent place.
Yeah.
Because even when there's like, oh, no, there's a bus, it's like, well, the system's not the greatest.
In fact, even Derry was much more connected. Yes.
Yeah. So Derry's bus system was actually much... I would say the buses came more often, and the buses were a lot easier to navigate.
I think
the bus system in Bangor was just like, yay, we have a bus line.
I think what it is that Bangor is a much smaller place. We think of it as bigger because it's Greater Belfast, but the transit system doesn't get good until you're in Belfast itself. Bangor's very quaint.
very, very quaint. They have everything you need.
Oh yeah,
but it's just a lot smaller.
There were grocery stores that would dump you out into, like, you'd end up. The only way to exit was into a parking lot, which is like the opposite direction of where we walked into it. So
we end up walking around the entire back of the grocery store to get to the
like
front
large grocery store, right?
Sidewalk.
But we could enter from the back, but we can't exit that way because there's no register on that side. So
it's just
not big deal.
Yeah,
but be cognizant if you follow us to this place that this really is a place that if you're not going to have a car, you're going to want to be centrally located.
And you're going to have to be willing to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you need to go. Okay.
So that's fine.
And yeah.
This isn't the end.
No, it's not.
No, I want to show the wall. That
go back. Okay, here we go.
So this was out of order. Ignore that. This is the wall. See? It's just a cute little door. Isn't this adorable?
That is pretty cute.
Okay.
That is pretty cute.
Now, one day,
as we were walking,
we went all the way to a store to try to get a red nose for Red Nose Day, because that's a UK thing and it's a fundraiser, and anyway, nobody cares. They don't do it there in Northern Ireland.
Apparently it's not a thing in Northern Ireland.
We decided the fastest way to get back to the hotel was to cut through the woods, which we were not really dressed for. I mean, weather-wise, we were warm enough. That's not the problem. You see, we thought this was a paved place. What shoes were we wearing, Julie?
We were wearing our sneakers.
So it wasn't like flip-flop.
Or anything like that, but we should have been wearing our boots.
Yeah, we should have been in boots.
And we weren't.
Everybody else was in, like, galoshes that passed us, right? Like,
there was a couple of, like, really thin little plippity-plop runners that just can run on anything.
Right, but they were not running through the mud itself.
No, they knew all the little secret paths and how to get through and all that stuff.
So anyway,
that was interesting.
Yep.
So anyway, it was a nice little adventure. This isn't our very last one, though.
No, we want to show where we got actually stuck in the mud.
We want to show,
You gonna hit it?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, it's the down button. There you go.
So
we were actually trapped there for quite a little while.
Yeah.
And trying to find a way to navigate through ankle deep or more mud while balancing and not going full face first. And it was kind of cute. Yeah, it was definitely a challenge.
There was a woman walking her dog, and she was in, tall boots, tall galoshes like this. Oh, yeah. And the dog just sprints across. La, la, la. So happy.
The dog is just covered in mud.
Covered in mud.
And she's like, yeah, people don't usually wear those kind of shoes here, little sneakers, because you can see our sneakers have changed colors.
They've changed. I still have Bangor sneaker residue on my shoes.
It's an honor, it's good luck.
Badge of honor.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this was a really fun place, and soon, as you might guess, we keep saying that this was part of Greater Belfast. I wonder what's coming up. Did I mention that it's March?
It's March.
Anything could happen in Northern Ireland when we go to Belfast.
In March.
So till next time.
Until next time.